Apart from breathing, the presence of oxygen in our body is essential to produce the energy we need to function. But in the same way, the presence of carbon dioxide in our body is essential so that oxygen can reach our cells. Turns out that in our blood there is a protein called hemoglobin. This protein is responsible for carrying oxygen from the lungs to the cells and returning CO2 from the cells back to the lungs to be eliminated when we exhale. Hemoglobin releases oxygen when there is too much CO2 or carbon dioxide present, and on the other hand, when there is too much oxygen, it releases CO2. But why would you want to have higher concentrations of CO2 in your body? Let's see. The higher your CO2 concentrations in your mitochondrial matrix, the more efficiently your body can use oxygen and thus produce more energy to perform all the activities it sets out to do. Now, imagine what this means for athletes. The more CO2 you can tolerate inside your body, the lower your heart rate will be, and for someone who runs, cycles, swims, and so on, it means that your heart continues to beat steadily, allowing you to increase and maintaining your training pace for longer periods of time. Sufficient CO2 in the body allows vitamin K2 to perform its function better. You will often find vitamin D3 supplements mixed with vitamin K2. And this is because D3 helps your body absorb calcium, but it is vitamin K2 that fixes it in the right places, such as bones and teeth, but at the same time prevents calcium from binding in soft tissues. To maintain good intestinal health, it is important that the colon has little oxygen and a lot of carbon dioxide. This helps certain good bacteria to grow and break down complex foods, giving us important nutrients such as short-chain fatty acids, while the population of bad bacteria that must also be present is kept at bay. If there's too much oxygen in the intestines, bad bacteria can multiply and cause health problems such as frequent colds, imbalances in the gut flora, yeast infections, and even irritable bowel syndrome. An interesting benefit of CO2 in the body is that when expelled, it can help eliminate excess calcium and sodium. This can reduce fluid retention or that uncomfortable bloated feeling. The process works because CO2, when combined with water, is converted into carbonic acid, which attracts water and leaves the cells, taking minerals such as calcium and sodium with it. What's more, because carbon dioxide has similar anti-inflammatory properties to methylene blue. By the way, have you seen my video on the amazing methylene blue? Well, if not, I recommend it. The thing is that both help to modulate calcium in your body. So much so that it has been considered as a treatment for bunions. Bunions are painful bumps on the feet that result from calcium buildup in the wrong place. On the other hand, producing CO2 in a controlled way could be an effective way to alleviate symptoms of depression. A study by the Foundation for Health and Human Performance found that people with a higher CO2 tolerance tend to have less anxiety at critical times. This suggests that increasing CO2 tolerance can help you stay calm not only in your daily life, but also in situations of acute stress. It is true that having a large amount of CO2 in the body is harmful. However, by practicing breath retention exercises, where you start to progressively accumulate a small amount of CO2, and when you reach your limit, it will notify your brain of the need of breath. In this way, increases your tolerance to CO2. Then you will be able to temporarily hold your breath and gradually increase the holding time. as happens when practicing techniques where inhalation and exhalation sequences are followed by a breathing retention period. There are several methods to increase CO2 tolerance. Some of them I explain in the article linked in the content box of this video, but here I will explain how the Wim Hof's method works. This technique is part of a method that includes 3 pillars: air retention, exposure to cold, and a commitment to perseverance. As for the breathing technique and to increase CO2 tolerance, the most common technique is a mixture of abdominal and diaphragmatic breathing. You can sit or lie down in a comfortable position where you take about 30 breaths. Detailed instructions on how to do this can also be found in the link I leave in the content box. And after about 30 breaths, you exhale and hold your breath until you feel the need to breathe again. As you calmly allow the CO2 to build up in your body, you will find that you can hold it longer and longer. When you cannot hold it any longer, you inhale again, hold for 10 to 15 seconds, and then exhale to rest. This is considered a round and you can repeat it a few times. The bonus with the Wim Hof's method is that by incorporating cold exposure, in this case it can be showers or ice water baths, also requires a calmed but focused type of breathing, where you inhale through the nose and can exhale either through the nose or mouth. By maintaining this breathing rhythm, you will find calmness and be able to stand the cold water for several minutes. The important thing is to seek and maintain calmness and focus. This technique, of course, also increases CO2 tolerance. The third pillar of this method and any other method you practice is the commitment of dedication required to know, experience, and marvel at what your body is capable of. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel on the red button and turn on the little bell to receive notifications every time there is new content here on your Holistic Health Hub. See you soon!